Hello everyone. Welcome to Donna's chair yoga sequence. Namaste. So beginning with a chair, getting a sturdy chair, preferably a one without arms, and a mat if you have one. You'll place your chair on your mat with the seat part facing outward toward the longer part of the mat. If you don't have a mat, you can place a sturdy chair against a wall with the back rest facing and touching onto the wall, or against a sturdy surface. So let's begin by sitting comfortably in the chair, sitting all the way back into the seat. Feel your back resting on the backrest. Take your feet and just place them a little bit more forward from your knees so that you'd be able to see your toes. And feel your feet grounding into the mat or the floor. Feel your spine resting on the backrest as it stacks upward. Head is resting comfortably, ears in line with shoulders, rising up through the crown. Take a few rounds of deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth with a big ah. Again, inhale in through the nose, fill the lungs. Pause at the top. Exhale out with a sigh. And one more deep, full inhale, filling the lungs. Feel the chest rise. Pause at the top and out. Releasing. Okay. So now let's begin by sitting toward the edge of the chair and having the toes just slightly in front of the knees. Feet are hips distance apart, about 4 inches. Feel your heels heavy on the floor. Feel your sitting bones weighted into the chair seat. Tailbone is heavy. Let's take a deep full inhale. Raise up the arms. Relax the shoulders. And on the exhale, twist over to the right side. So the left hand comes to the outside of the right knee. Right hand can hold on to the seat of the chair or the backrest of the chair. And let's extend the left leg. Let's take a few breaths here. Deep inhale through the nose. Lengthen, lifting up through the heart. And exhale, twisting back a little bit more from the right rib cage. Shoulder gently follows, chin gently follows. Again, deep, full inhale, lifting, creating that length through the spine. And on the exhale, twisting a little deeper. Rib cage, shoulder, chin gently follows. And one more time, deep, full inhale. Feel yourself lift and rise. And on the exhale, twisting, rib cage, shoulder, chin gently follows. Release. Now sitting up tall again. Right hand touches the outside of the left knee. Extend the right leg. Shoulders relax. Lengthen from the crown. Deep, full inhale. Feel the expansion in the spine, and exhale, twisting back. Rib cage, shoulder, chin gently follows. Deep inhale, lengthening, lifting the heart. Exhale, twisting, rib cage, shoulder, chin gently follows. And one more time, deep inhale, lifting. Exhale, release with a sigh. Now placing the feet back, both feet, ankles are underneath the knees and toes slightly forward. Let's place the hands on top of the thighs. Take a deep inhale for cat-cow back. So inhaling for your cow, shoulders relaxed, collarbone broad, lifting the heart, lifting the chin, raising your gaze. And on the exhale, scooping back, rounding the chest, tucking the pelvis up toward the belly. Deep inhale, using the arms to press down to lift the heart through the gate of the arms. Exhale, tucking the chin, rounding back. Inhale, lift. Feel the slide and glide of the pelvis. Exhale, tucking and rounding. Deep, full inhale. Exhale, tucking your chin firmly to your chest. Think about looking toward your belly button. And one more time, deep, full inhale, hugging the shoulders out of the ears. And exhale, tucking and rounding. Coming back to center. Okay, so let's extend the legs now so that they're straight out. We're going to place our arms into cactus arms. Okay, so fingers are spread wide and elbows are in right angles, elbows in line with shoulders. On the inhale, we're going to take a back bend here. Okay, so start to arch the back and lifting and bringing your shoulders back a little bit more, elbows pressing forward, wrists coming back behind the elbows if you can, and pointing the toes upward. Exhale, start to lower down the toes. Maybe they can touch. Lower down the hands so that the fingers are facing forward, tucking the chin to the chest. Inhale, lifting up the toes, arching back, fingers come back, elbows pressing forward. Exhale, pressing the toes, extending the arms forward. Okay, keeping that right angle in the elbows. Inhaling up. Okay, feel the arching in the lower back gently from the shoulders. Exhale. Okay, rounding as the fingers facing in front of you. And one more time, deep, full inhale. And exhale, tucking the chin to the chest. Let's place the hands on the thighs. Let's walk the feet back in. And now we're going to open up the feet wide. So situate yourself more comfortably. Make sure you're securely rooted in your chair, still toward the edge. You're trying to have your ankles in line with your knees. Turn your toes out to the sides. And we're going to make some big circle of light with the arms. So opening up and outstretching the arms to the sides and then upward. Look up between the hands. And then on the exhale, flexing the palms, imagining you're pushing away invisible walls and floating downward. And maybe your fingers can just kind of graze and scrape the mat. Okay, or maybe you're just thinking about reaching downward. Inhale, pressing into the feet, raising upward, circle of light. Look up between your hands. If your eyes are open, you can keep them closed if that feels more natural. And exhale, pushing away the arms, feeling them engaged as you come down and surrender to the earth. Again, you can sweep the mat or just let yourself dangle for a moment. Inhale, reaching. Feel the length through the crown of the head and the fingertips. Exhale, pushing away the invisible walls as you come down to the mat. And one more time, inhaling up. And exhale, coming down. And let's just hold here. Okay, so maybe your fingertips can touch, maybe your hands can touch. Okay, if you'd like, if your hands are not anywhere near the mat, you can always hold on to opposite elbows and just let yourself dangle here. If it feels like you need a little more support, you can always just place your elbows on top of your thighs and release your head and let your neck hang. Take a few breaths here into the back. Feel your shoulder blades just melting. Nod your head yes a few times. And nod your head no a few times. And this is also a nice place to just open and close them out gently as well. Softening all the face muscles. On the inhale, let's release the arms. Press into the feet, firm your abs, and ragdoll roll up one vertebrae at a time. And then roll your shoulders up, back, and down. Give them a good massage in the sockets. And then roll them forward, down, and back. And let's bring our feet back together. Come up to stand. And let's turn ourselves around so that now our hands are going to come onto the seat of the chair. So we're going to do a few down dog variations here. So placing your hands firmly on the chair, you want your wrists to be shoulder width apart. You want your fingers spread wide, pressing especially to the index fingers and thumbs. And you're going to walk your feet back down the length of your mat. Now you want to make sure here that your chair is, again, the backrest either securely pressed against the wall or a solid surface that completely takes the weight of the backrest of the chair, or that all legs of your chair are completely touching onto your mat, okay, so that the chair won't slip at all. And we're just going to press back gently as you push your hands into the chair. Just press back gently, letting your hips glide back, pulling back from your tailbone, being heavy in your heels. And just take a moment and notice how things feel here. On the inhale, we're going to gently glide forward, so let your shoulders come up toward your wrists now, and you might want to lift your heels, bend your knees slightly if your calf muscles and hamstring muscles are super tight. Okay, and maybe even taking just a gentle back bend by letting the hips float down if that feels comfortable. And then on the exhale, we're going to come back to downward dog. So pressing into the chair, sending the chest back toward the thighs, grounding into the heels. Inhale as you start to rise up from the shoulders. And again, your heels might want to lift here, coming forward in a plank. Maybe just very gently dipping your hips if it feels good, lifting the heart, lifting the head. Exhale, chin to the chest, floating back. And let the head just hang gently between the arms, lifting the armpits, grounding into the heels. Inhale, floating forward. Okay. Firmly pressing the shoulders down away from the ears, lifting up. Gentle back bend if it feels right. And on your exhale, floating back to downward facing dog. I'm going to take a moment here and bicycle out both of your legs and pedal out your feet. And just kind of sway your hips from side to side. And just move into the space of your body. Okay. So now from here, we're going to come into this plank pose again. Okay, so you want to float forward so that your shoulders are in line with your wrists. You might want to step your feet back a little bit wider. So we're going to come from plank, and then we're going to squat down. Okay, so inhale, floating forward, coming into your plank. Okay, maybe that gentle back bend if you like. And on your exhale, coming back into downward dog, hips gliding back and squatting. So bending at the knees are parallel to one another. Okay, pulling back from the creases of the hips and your tailbone. Inhale, starting to raise back up, straightening the knees, floating forward back to your plank. Okay, gentle back bend if you like. Exhaling, chin to chest, hips are gliding back, heavy in the heels, and then hinging from the creases in the hips, squatting, and we're trying to keep our knees in line with our ankles. Okay, so all the energy is pulling back toward the hips. Inhale, floating forward. Again, the heels might like to rise here. Okay, feeling your stretch and luxuriating in it. Okay, lifting the heart, lifting the head, chin tucks. Exhale, hinging back, pulling back from the tailbone and coming into your squat. Okay, so let's hold here, and you can relax your head so that your ears are in line with your shoulders, and just imagine that you're trying to touch an invisible wall behind you with your tailbone. Feeling the stretch. You can always bring your knees to touch and your feet to touch if you feel like you have a little bit more support there. So you can maybe bend a little bit more deeply, maybe lowering the chest to the thighs a little bit more, maybe even dropping the head down so that the ears are even with the shoulders. On your next inhale, slowly begin to straighten your legs. And you can bicycle out your legs and pedal out your feet here. Okay. So now we're going to come into three-legged dog, and we're going to do leg kicks on each side. So if you prefer to do this kneeling, you can. You'll have your hands still on the chair, And you just have your knees. You can take up some pillows or cushions or anything that you have nearby to support your knees if that's better for you, or even roll up your mat to create more cushion. You can do that as well, okay? And you'll still be getting the pose in its entirety, okay, without so much stress or pressure on your wrists if that's better for you. So feel free to come down to your knees now and support yourself. Okay, so from downward facing dog, we're going to place our chest back to our thighs. And then on the inhale, we're going to raise up the right leg. So we want to relax into the left heel. If you feel like your feet are too far back and your calves are so tight that you can't flatten into the left hand, you can always just step your feet a little bit closer. So feel free to adjust yourself however you might need to along the way. On the inhale, raising that right leg, we're going to think about stacking the hips here, shining open from that top right hip, bending that right knee, and maybe if you'd like to add some more balance, coming up to the right fingertips if you feel comfortable and secure. So we're going to keep stacking the hips, bending that knee firmly, flexing the right foot, separating the toes if you can. Your anchor here is your left foot pressing firmly into the big toe inside edge of that left standing foot. Okay, so on the inhale, we're going to straighten that right leg and really firm that thigh. And then exhale, you're going to pull the heel back in toward the left buttock. Inhale, straighten and extend. Exhale, pull it back in. Inhale, straighten and extend. Exhale, pull it back in. Inhale, straighten and extend. Exhale, pulling back in. And last time, inhale, straighten and extend. Exhale, pull it back in. And let's square the hips, flatten that right hand, and set down that right foot. Take a moment, bicycle out your legs, pedal out your feet. Okay, so switching sides. Let's extend that left leg, firming the thigh, flexing the foot. Let's start to revolve open, bending that left knee. Think about squeezing the left knee to the right buttock. Twisting open from the left rib cage, coming up to the left fingertips if you're secure, and chin gently floats to the left shoulder. Shoulders are relaxed down out of the ears. Inhale, extend that left leg. Exhale, squeeze it back in toward the right buttock. Inhale, straighten and feel that thigh engaged. Exhale, squeezing it back in. Inhale, extending, and if you need to steady yourself, just press into your standing big toe, ball toe mound on the right foot. Exhale, squeezing it back in. Inhale, straightening, extending. Try to keep those hips stacked. Exhale, pulling it back in. And one more time, inhale, extending, and exhale, pulling it back in. Bring the head back to center, square the hips, flatten the left hand, set down your left foot, and bicycle out your legs, sway your hips, shake out your head, yes and no, and just release everything. Okay, now from here we're going to come into downward facing dog with twists. So we're going to open up our feet as wide as the mat. We will still want to have our feet back behind our hips, pressing the hands forward on the chair, sending the chest back toward the thighs. Okay? So make sure you're back enough, but we want to make sure that the heels are still able to touch. Okay? You can always keep your knees a little soft here with a slight micro bend or a little deeper bend if you need to, but we want to make sure that the heels for extra support can be grounded into the mat. Right hand is centered on your chair, sending the chest back toward the thighs. We're going to start to release that left hand and send it down toward the right ankle. Shoulders are relaxed. Okay, hug the shoulders out of the ears, and then on the exhale, twisting open from the right side of the rib cage. Chin floats to the right armpit. You're kind of looking up to the eye of the right elbow. Okay, and try to keep the weight even in both heels. Keep sending the chest back toward the thighs. Try to keep the weight even in both feet. And maybe you can bend that left lower elbow a little bit more to send the chest a little bit lower to the thighs if you can. Okay, see if you have a little bit more space to get a little deeper into the expression of the pose. Take one more deep, full inhale. And on your exhale, slowly release that left hand. Let's bring it back up toward the chair. And from here, you can just take any movements, pedal your feet, bicycle out your legs, sway your hips, whatever feels good. Okay, now from here, we're going to bring the left hand centered on the seat of the chair. Send the chest back toward the thighs. Weight is even in both feet. And we're going to reach that right hand back to the left ankle. Okay, sometimes we have to reach up a little bit higher on the leg. If the ankle's too low, you can just come up a little bit higher, okay, but not on any side of the knee. Okay. Relax the shoulders. Lean back a little more deeply. Deep, full inhale, and on the exhale, twisting open from the left side of the rib cage. Chin floats underneath the left arm. Keep drawing the left hip crease back, heavy in the heels, feeling the rotation in the left side of the rib cage, and maybe bending that right elbow a little bit more here. Each exhale, thinking about getting a little bit longer, okay, as you pull the hips back, and getting a little bit deeper as you can drop the chest a little bit closer down toward the mat. One more deep, full inhale. And on the exhale, gently release that right hand. Bring the hand back to the chair. Open both hands as wide as the width of the shoulders and start to bicycle out the legs and pedal out the feet. Okay, so now from here, we're going to do downward facing dog to three-legged dog and possibly flipping our dog. We're going to kind of put it all together. So let's bring our feet together so that they're hips distance apart. We want to have our heels right underneath our hips. And if it's better for you, again, to be on your knees here for more control for three-legged dog, you can certainly stay down. You can stay on your knees again if you like. Or you can even do this from your elbows if that's better. Elbows on the chair. And just not flipping the dog if you prefer to be on your elbows, but you can still kind of come to a three-legged dog here if you want to get up off of the floor. Okay, so let's take a deep full inhale and exhale. We're going to send the chest back toward the thighs. Let's bring the right hand as close to the right side of the chair as we can. We're going to bring that left leg up. We're going to bend the knee. Squeeze the heel to the right buttock and come up to the left fingertips. Okay, make sure that everything is sturdy and steady. Shoulders are relaxed. You can stay right here if you like. Okay, if you'd like to think about taking some of the weight off of the left hand, and if that feels available to you, you can then start to take that left hand off of the chair seat and place it onto the left hip. Stacking the hips if you can. Okay, spiraling open from the left side of the rib cage. Maybe your gaze can come up toward the sky. Maybe you can lift that left arm upward. Okay, if you feel like you can go farther, you can very carefully and slowly with control step down that left foot and maybe shine your heart up toward the sky, lifting the hips, opening up from that left arm, gathering the shoulder blades together. Take a few breaths. Take a deep, full inhale. Let's gaze back down toward the chair. Place the left hand on the hip. Plug into the right foot. Lift up that left knee. And bring it back around, back to center. Okay. Take a moment. Bicycle out your legs. Pedal out your feet. Sending the chest back toward the thighs for the other side. Left hand is to the left side of the chair. You can always walk your feet a little bit closer also. It might make you feel and provide more control. Right hand on the hip, opening up from the right side of the rib cage, extending the right leg, stacking the hips, stacking the shoulders, bending the right knee, possibly reaching up that right arm, and then flipping your dog. If that's comfortable, taking that back bend, lifting the heart, lifting the hips. Take a deep full inhale. And on your exhale, start to bring your hand to your hip, head back to the chair. Okay, pushing off the right toes, bring yourself back to center, flatten down that right hand, pedal out your legs and your feet. So from here, we're going to come in two-legged dog. Bring both feet together, and we're going to lift up the right leg. We're going to bend the knee, spiral open, and then pressing into the right hand on the chair seat. Still pressing the chest back toward the thighs. Make sure your left heel is touching, otherwise you want to step a little closer to the chair. And seeing if your left hand can come to your hip. Shoulders are relaxed. Having a firm focal point, the drishti, somewhere in front of you, or maybe over the right shoulder, maybe up to the sky over the right shoulder. And then seeing if your left hand can maybe reach back for your foot. Take a few breaths. Try to relax into the balance. Take a deep full inhale. And on your exhale, gently release your foot. Place your left hand back on the chair. Lower down the right foot. And bicycle out your knees. Pedal out your feet. And here we're going to lift the left leg. Exhale, bend the knee. Relax the shoulders. Start to take the weight off the right fingertips. You can always just keep it there, just lightening up. It takes you to another dimension and another depth. Okay, and then if you can, just thinking about, you can stay where you are or place the right hand onto the hip, sending the chest back toward the thighs. Maybe the right hand can reach back for the left foot. Shoulders relaxed. Breathing. Maybe twisting open a little bit more from the left side of the rib cage. Take a deep full inhale, gaze toward the chair. Gently release your foot. Place your hand back on the chair, lower down your leg. Bicycle out your knees, pedal out your feet. Let's walk our feet back in toward the chair and have a seat in your chair. And just let everything relax. Place your hands over your heart. Feel your body supported by the chair. Feel the back of the legs, the weight of the hips, each beat of the spine, the lengthening of the crown, and your feet heavy on the earth. Namaste.
Hope you guys enjoyed. Please leave any comments or remarks. Let me know how you enjoyed it and any feedback at all. And please like and subscribe, and let me know if you'd like to see any other things in the future. Thank you. Namaste.